Yashodanandan Yamuna Tiravanachari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Pijana Balama Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Umagyanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyanteshtarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47, entitled The Song of the Bee. Yadanucharita lila karnapyush vipruta sakrit adharna vidhuta tvandva dharma vinashta sapadigriha kutumbam dina vrchujya dina bhava iha vihanga bhikshucharyam charanti. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: to hear about the pastimes that Krishna regularly performs is nectar for the ears. For those who relish just a single drop of that nectar, even once, their dedication to material duality is ruined. Many such persons have suddenly given up their wretched homes and families and themselves become wretched, traveling here to Vrindavan to wander about like birds, begging for their living. Purport: material duality is based on falsely thinking, this is mine and that is yours, or this is our country and that is yours, or this is my family and that is yours, and so on. In fact, there is one absolute truth in which we all exist and to whom everything belongs. His beauty and pleasure are also absolute and infinite. And if one actually hears about the absolute truth called Krishna, one's dedication to the illusion of mundane duality is spoiled. According to Acharyas, and certainly in accord with Sanskrit grammar, the last two words of the second line of this text may also be divided dharma avinashta, Then the entire line becomes part of a single compound, the meaning of which is that hearing about Krishna cleanses one of irreligious duality, and thus one is not vanquished, avinished by material illusion. The word dina is then given the alternate reading of dhira, meaning that one becomes spiritually sober and thus gives up attachment to fleeting material relationships. The word vihanga, birds, would in this case refer to swans, the symbol of essential discrimination. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes Rupa Goswami as follows in connection with this verse. Bhangya tyaguchitya tasya khaganam api kedanad yatra sanushayam prokta tad bhavet abhijalpitam. When a lover indirectly states with remorse that her beloved is fit to be given up, such speech, uttered like the plaintive crying of birds, is called Abhijalpa. Ujjwal Nilmani 14.194. This is Prabhupada's nature. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all devotees so that I can speak for my own purification. I'm feeling very extremely happy and blessed to be here at Bhakti Center in New York. Extremely grateful for the first class hospitality. I'm just feeling at home. Srila Prabhupada created home in which whole world can live. And especially today morning when I was chanting, I was looking at these pictures, these beautiful pictures. If you come to Calcutta temple, exactly same pictures are there. I remember in 2011 or so, His Honorable Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he personally brought these pictures from US. Right. And then we just framed it and put it. So every day morning when we are chanting, we are seeing at these pictures. And today I was chanting and I was looking at same pictures and I was just feeling that I am in Calcutta temple. Yeah. So actually Prabhupada appeared in Calcutta under a jackfruit tree at Toliganj. And later on Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur at Junction Road. And seed of ISKCON was planted in the heart of Srila Prabhupada. And later on 1965-66, that six fructified here at 26 2nd Avenue in New York. And all of you are watering that tree. Yesterday I went there. There is a beautiful program, weekly meditations. And I hope and pray that this continues for next 10,000 years. Devotees coming together here at New York at this 26 2nd Avenue matchless gift, hearing about Prabhupada, remembering Prabhupada, expressing our gratitude Prabhupada. Whatever we are, actually, we owe to Prabhupada. And we need to always remind us about that fact. We have been given entrance to world of happiness and bliss by mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada himself took so many difficulties and came here to give everybody in this world this good fortune of Krishna consciousness, good fortune of hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna. So here we are hearing from greatest devotees in the creation, gopis. And here is the Uddhava hearing from gopis. This is called as Brahmara Geet. There are many Geets in scriptures. Bhagavad Gita is a Geet, Aila Geet, Uddhav Geet, Venu Geet, Gopi Geet. So similar, this is a Brahmara Geet. And it's very intense. Especially here we see gopis and especially Srimati Radhani speaking in great ecstasy about Krishna. So this hearing about Krishna is most powerful medicine to cure all the diseases of this material existence. Vyasdev explains, Anartho Upashamam Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Adokshije. Lokasya Ajanantu Vidvam Chakre Satvat Samita. In this world, people don't know why they are suffering, and people don't know how they can become free from all sufferings. Rather, whenever people in this material world try to reduce suffering and increase happiness, dukkha tadapi dukkham. It results in opposite. It increases misery and reduces whatever peace and happiness one has. So lokas ajananto vidvans. So people don't know the real cause of suffering and real secret for becoming happy. So therefore, Vidwan Chakra de Sattva Samhita. Therefore, Vyasadev, Incarnation Supreme Person God, has compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam to let us know what is the cause of suffering and how one can be happy in all situations. He says, Anarthopasham Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Adakshite. All we are suffering not because of any external factors. We are not suffering because there is some economic crisis, or we are health crisis, or this crisis, that crisis. He says we are suffering because of anartha, impurities in the heart. And that impurities in the heart cannot be removed by any amount of material adjustment. But those impurities can be completely extinguished by Bhakti Yogam Adokshije, by performing pure devotional service to Adokshije, Supreme Lord who is beyond the senses. And one of the this devotional service begins with Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting the glories of Lord. Yasyam Vaishyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpate Pumsa Shokamoha Bhai Apaha. Just by hearing about this Krishna consciousness, hearing about message of Krishna, Krishna Katha, either spoken by Krishna or by his devotees, Bhaktir Utpate Pumsa. The devotional sentiments, love for Krishna is awakened in heart. And Shoka Moha Bhaya Apha. And one can become free from Shoka, all lamentation of the past. We may have done so many mistakes, blunders in past. One can free from all that lamentation. We may be in great bewilderment in the present, Moha. One can free from all illusions of present. And one may have a lot of uncertainties and insecurities about future, fear about future. One can be free from all this. So this is a promise acharyas are giving. Just by hearing message of Krishna, hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, one can be free from Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, Apha. And there is no other way to get free from Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, Apha. So we are very fortunate that by mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his wonderful, sincere followers, we are getting this opportunity to hear about Krishna, talk about Krishna, meditate on Krishna. So this hearing about Krishna has to be done from a qualified person, not from any materialistic person or an impersonalist. We have to hear from a devotee of Krishna. When we hear from devotees of Krishna, then natural result of hearing Krishna Katha is that one becomes attached to Krishna. A natural byproduct of attachment to Krishna is we become detached from materialistic sense gratification. So, and if we continuously hear, then one can get all understanding about Krishna, Krishna Tattva. Janma karma cha me divyam yoyam vetti tattvata tektva deham punarjanma naiti mamaiti swarjuna. When we hear about Krishna from Krishna or his devotees, then we can understand all Krishna Tattva wonderfully. About Krishna's appearance, Krishna's activities, and all misgivings are given up, and then we become qualified to go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, the world of mirth and merry, world of happiness. We see Rukmini heard from Narada Muni, and just by hearing from Narada Muni, she developed special attraction for Krishna, and then later on her marriage was arranged with Shishupal, but she didn't want to marry Shishupal, and then she sent a letter to Krishna that, oh Krishna, please come and kidnap me. And Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, and that's how Krishna got married to the first queen, Rukmini. Similarly, we see a great Yagik Brahman Patnis, the wives of great Brahmanas. Uh, uh, Gopis of Vrindavan, they used to go to outskirts of Vrindavan to sell their butter, milk, and milk products. And whenever they used to go, they used to talk to Krishna. And this Yagik Brahman Patnis, wives of this Yagik Brahman, because they were trading from them, and wherever they was buying milk product, they're hearing about Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, they developed so much love and attraction for Krishna. Later on, we see when they got good fortune that Krishna and Balram had come in nearby forest. Krishna Balram sent his friends to Brahmanas to ask for some food. But Brahmanas, because they were so busy in sacrifices, they just ignored. Whereas this, so when this friends of Krishna became morose, they went to Krishna and Balaram and said, "Oh, we didn't get any food. They were so busy with doing sacrifices, they ignored us." Then Krishna said, "Oh, actually, they are just uh, external ritualistic performance of sacrifice. They don't know the essence, but their wives are very great devotees." They said, "You go to their wives, they will give you charity, they will give you prasad." So then these friends went to these wives of great Brahmanas. And when Brahman wives heard that Krishna and Balaram and his friends are just nearby, immediately they took all that what they had cooked for the offering and ran in the forest and offered to Krishna. In Vedic times, a woman cannot leave home without sanction of husband and all the elders. But this Brahman Patnis, because they heard about Krishna, they were so attracted to Krishna, they had become so attached to Krishna, without caring for any social obligation, they just ran and they offered all this prasad to Krishna, Balram, and all his friends. And Krishna, Balram, and friends, they were so happy, they enjoyed prasadam, and they thanked this Brahman Patnis, and they said, "Now, thank you very much, you can go home." The wives of Brahmanas, they said, "My dear Krishna, what are you saying? Go home. There is no question of going home because no one will accept us back. Now we have left home once and for all. So there is no question of going home." Krishna said, "No, you have left home not for any ordinary person. You have left home for me. I am Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hmm. So anybody crosses so-called moral boundaries in service of me, they don't get condemned. Rather, they get glorified and worshipped. If you had left your homes for some other man, some other boy, maybe you would be condemned. But you have left homes in order to serve me. So don't worry, you just go home and your husbands will receive you. Not only will receive with great happiness and joy, rather they will worship you. Don't worry." And then all Brahman Patnis went back home and they were amazed. All the Brahmanas, their husbands and their family members welcomed them, received them with great joy and happiness. And all the husbands, these Brahmanas, they started lamenting. "Oh, we are so unfortunate. We have been just so ritualistic. We forgot the essence of all Vedas. We forgot the essence of sacrifice. Sacrifice mean for pleasure of Krishna. But you, oh wise, you are so glorious. You understood essence. You are our guru. You are our teachers. No." So they worship their wives. Mm. So we see that Yagik Brahmanas, Patnis, they could understand the essence. Why? Because they had heard from Brajavasis, other gopis. So one can understand essence only by hearing from great devotees. Otherwise, one may miss the essence, like Brahmanas, they miss the essence. So we see, if we have not heard, we may have different conceptions of life and different ideas, different goals about life. So we see even Prabhupada in his external pastimes, when this material world, he was a great follower of Gandhi. And he was into freedom fight. And when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur in first meeting, he said, "You are a young man, educated man. Why don't you take this message of Lord Krishna, message of Lord Chaitanya, and present it in English language in Western world?" Hmm. Abhay that time, Prabhupada name. He said, "Who's going to listen to this message? First, we have to get freedom, and then maybe in future we'll do it." But Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, "No, so-called material freedom is not going to help situation. And understand, nobody is free in this world. Everybody is bound by guna, kala, karma, three modes of material nature, karmas, and time factor. And only when we surrender to Krishna can we actually become independent. Can we actually become free? So we see that here Uddhava has come to give message on behalf of Krishna to Vrajavasis. Actually, Uddhava is extremely qualified person. He's a disciple of Brahaspati, mm, the guru of Devatas. We see in modern times, people want to send their children to high, very big institutes. Like those who are from India, they want to send their children to America for higher education. In Vedic times, this Uddhava, he went for higher education not only in this earth planet, but he went to higher planets, heavenly planets. And he was learning from the best of the teachers. Brahaspati was teacher of all devatas. And this was just 5,000 years ago. Just 5,000 years ago, people were able to go to higher planets for education. Mm. So, and this Uddhava not only was highly qualified, but he was very intimate friend of Krishna. Also, he was a minister of Krishna and a counselor of Krishna. Krishna would consult him whenever there was some, he had some uh, uh, things to clarify. So, Uddhava is highly qualified, and Krishna sent Uddhava with a message to give to Vrajavasis. He wanted to pacify them. But when Uddhava came and saw Vrajavasis, and especially their love, his heart melted. And he started thinking, "Oh, I was earlier thinking I'm a great devotee, but I actually have no devotion for Krishna." What is devotion? What is love for Krishna? We can know by seeing these Vrajavasis, and especially gopis. And after seeing their love and devotion, especially, uh, immediately he felt how wonderful if I can also get drop of their love. Mm. And he understood, if I have to get the drop of their love, then I have to serve them. I have to please them. I have to take the dust of their lotus feet. Uh, So then he desired that may I become a small creeper in Vrindavan. Because he was thinking, I'm a great Yadava, I'm a great prince, I'm a great minister. Nobody is going to give me dust of their lotus feet in Vrindavan. Mm, mm. Everybody will feel awkward. But if I'm a Gulmalata, I'm just a small creeper, everybody can step on me. And in that way, I can get a dust of lotus feet of this great devotees, Brajavasis. And that way, I can get drop of their love for Krishna, and my life will be glorified. So we see all great personalities. When they come to Vrindavan or meet devotees, they feel very humble. We see Brahma. mm, when he came to Vrindavan and he saw great Brajavasis' love for Krishna, he felt, "Oh, I have no love." And he also desired, may I become mountain here in Vrindavan, so that all Rajas will put their feet on my head, and I will get their bhakti, and then my life will be successful. He was not thinking, I am Brahma, the first created being and the creator of the secondary creator of this world. My life is glorified. No, he was thinking, my life is useless. I don't have love. And if I can get dust of lotus feet of this Vrajavasis, my life will be perfect. So he became mountain. So we see in Barsana, there is a mountain with four heads, four hills. There is Brahma, that is actually Brahma. Similarly, great Shiva, Mahadev. mm, When he came to Vrindavan, he saw the love of Brajavasis and he said, "Oh, I have no love for Krishna. I also want this love." And he also desired to become a mountain so that everybody can trample on his head and give the dust. And he became mountain at Nandagaon. So Nandagaon mountain is actually Lord Shiva. And we see Radharani's father made house on the top of Brahma mountain, Barsana. And Lord Krishna's father Nandamar made his home on top of Nandagaon mountain, that is Lord Shiva. And Vishnu himself, when he saw the love of Brajavasis, he felt I should be also take dust of their feet. And he wanted to be mountain. And he has become Govardhan. So we see all these great personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Uddhava, everybody is wanting to take dust of lotus feet of devotees of Vrindavan. And that is secret of actually advancing Krishna consciousness. We can't advance by our own effort, by mere scholarship, or by any other sacrifices and austerities, but by serving great devotees and pleasing them, we can make spiritual advancement. We can see this Vrindavan is so glorious that anybody goes there and especially hears about Krishna and hears of Krishna, one loses all material attraction. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, don't go to Vrindavan and especially Keshigat, because there beautiful boy, young boy, is standing in threefold forms and playing his flute. If you hear his flute, and if he glances put a sidelong glance on you, you may forget all your material uh, desires. So this is a very special place, Vrindavan and his devotees. So Prabhupada is also actually Varjavasi. He was staying in Vrindavan, and Kali Yuga people unfortunate. They don't know glories of Vrindavan, so they may not go to Vrindavan. So Prabhupada himself wanted to distribute this mercy of Vrindavan, so himself came to New York. He established center here, and from New York he established centers all over the world. Prabhupada say, my temples are not ordinary places; they are Vaikuntha, or spiritual worlds, or Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. So when we are coming to temple, we should know we are coming to Vrindavan. So we may be extremely far away from Vrindavan in New York, but actually when we come to temple of Prabhupada, one should know we are actually coming to Vrindavan. It's Prabhupada mercy, Prabhupada established Vrindavans all over the world. So we don't have to go anywhere. Just wherever Prabhupada is there, where proper temples are there, where proper devotees are there, we can get same benefit. Like Uddhava went to Vrindavan to get drop love for Krishna. Similarly, by coming to proper temples, we can also get that blessings. It is said, if you go to places where Lord perform his pastimes, those places called Shripada Kshetra, and there are those places called Shri Kshetra, and one can get 1,000 times benefits. Now, whatever we do devotion service in those places, we get 1,000 times devotion blessings. If you go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, you chant one round, it's like chanting 1,000 rounds. But where acharyas perform pastimes, where acharyas appear and perform pastimes, that is called as Shripad Kshetra. So in that sense, Kolkata is Shripad Kshetra, or New York is Shripad Kshetra, place where Acharya and Srila Prabhupada has performed pastime. And it said that anybody performs devotional service in Shripad Kshetra, when Acharya has performed devotional service, one gets 1,000,000 times benefit. So we are so fortunate that we are getting opportunity, same opportunity what Uddhava got. We are also getting same opportunity here, and opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness and progress nicely. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanande.
Acaryaratna Prabhu ki jai. Thank you. Wonderful class. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for coming, giving us your association.
I am feeling so honored and blessed to come to this glorious and holy place, Bhakti Center, and all here. Yesterday I visited Tom's Square Park, Matchless Gift, 26 Second Avenue, and I'm feeling
Prabhu, did you
blessed.
hug the tree?
Huh?
Did you hug the tree?
Yes, by
Good.
mercy of devotees. I was grateful to Krishna Daya. He took me to all these places.
Thank you. Damodar Priya Devidasi has a question.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Acaryaratna, Das Prabhu. I have a question and an appreciation. My first question is very simple. I've never heard your name before, and I love to get the meaning of your name because I love learning about Krishna through people's disciple names.
Srila Prabhupada is Acaryaratna, jewel of Acharyas. Ratna means jewel. Acharya means one who teaches by example. So,
That's another
Acharya,
name for Srila Prabhupada.
so Acharya is Acharya, one who teaches Krishna consciousness by his example, and Ratna means jewel among Acharyas. So, jewel among Acharya, the best of the Acharya. So, Srila Prabhupada is actually Acharya Ratna. Also, we can see in India, there is they give awards, Bharat Ratna, the best person in India. He is given award, Bharat Ratna, the jewel of India. So like that, this is Ratna, Bharat Ratna. All these things are titles which explain glories. Similarly, we see in Chaitanya Leela, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's maternal uncle. His name is Chandrasekhar Acharya, and he also had a title called Acharya Ratna. So Acharya Ratna is jewel among Acharyas, and mm, spiritual master has given me name that I have to serve all these great Acharyas, become servant of their servants. So, so I hope and pray that by all of your blessings, I can become servant of Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, thank you so much. See, every time I ask a devotee to explain their name, it's always like so much nectar in it. So thank you so much. And I also wanted to give my appreciation for what you shared in class about how if we can't travel to India and visit the holy dhams there, that we could still be in that kind of holy space, not just with the temples that Prabhupada created in the United States, but even like the temples and spaces that have been created by the disciples and other people who are propagating Srila Prabhupada's mission, which is Lord Chaitanya's mission, which is Krishna's mission. And I also reminded me, I heard a class recently by Rukmini Walker Prabhu that she talked about the mood for entering Vrindavan Dham and how, that's a mood that we can have in our heart so that we can be walking around with Vrindavan Dham in our heart, no matter where we go. And what you said reminded me of that. So thank you so much for the inspiration and the hopeful.
Thank you very much.
Jai. Any questions in the temple room? The live audience? Can they hear us?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Your speakerphone is on, so there's an echo. There's a prayer that we say every day, and we're looking at the translation this morning, and somehow or other, I felt an increased impact of the simple fact, this is a fact. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy. It's a fact. And he's extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. It's so incredible that that's a fact. He's dancing in ecstasy, he's cleansing the temple, he's worshiping the deity, he's speaking about the pure, loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And by Prabhupada's grace, his disciples are continuing the translation. We're hearing about the pure, loving pastimes between Radha and Krishna. And this is so rare. It's a simple fact, but we hear it every day, and I don't know why it was striking me so powerfully today. Spiritual master is making wonderful tasteful arrangements for the loving exchanges between Radha and Krishna. It's a fact. Wow, Prabhupada's doing that, and is to be honored because he's worshiping Krishna with everything he's got. It's a fact. He's worshiping Krishna with everything, every bit of his strength, every bit of his time, every bit of his resources, whatever a talents or facility, he's throwing it, he's using it for the glorification of the Lord. And then he's honored as much as the Supreme Lord. It's a fact. We've heard all this before, again and again and again. I don't know why it seems so fresh and new for me hearing it today. And then, of course, by the grace of the spiritual master, one gets the grace of Krishna. It's a fact that, like Prabhupada was saying, we're approaching the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. It's not just about dust. It's about by serving and pleasing them, Krishna is pleased. Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased. When we were listening yesterday, Srila Prabhupada was speaking on the disappearance day of his spiritual master, and he was speaking to his disciples and said, "You are helping me in my spiritual master's mission. Thank you very much. Thank you very much." With great heartfelt, heart-wrenching tears in the eyes, gratitude, he was speaking to his disciples. And so by pleasing the spiritual master, we can please Krishna. And these things we've heard and heard and heard on a daily basis for years and decades, but somehow or other, it's always fresh and new to simply remember these facts. This is true. This is real. This is important. This is a priority for us to remind each other these simple things. Anyway, we're only repeating what we've heard from Srila Prabhupada, and so we contribute to the class like that. We were praying to Prabhupada, what can we say? We're the perfect class. We gave a wonderful, wonderful, sweet class. Thank you very much. All glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Adipurusha Prabhu. Acaryaratna Prabhu never stops smiling.
Yeah. So happy to hear realization of Adipurush Prabhu. Sometimes we may not have realization, but if we just hear devotees with realization, we can borrow that realization and we can also relish. So Adipurush Prabhu's decades of surrender and sacrifice is getting such realizations and is feeling so joyful. So this is actually fruit of practice of sincere devotional service. And if we just connect to such devotees, we can also get hope that we can also become joyful one day. Even if in present situation we will be struggling, we just have to hold on to lotus feet of devotees who are relishing Krishna consciousness. So I'm feeling so blessed here to be in association of Adipurush Prabhu. Thank you for sharing such nice realization. It's ever fresh. This beauty of Krishna consciousness, ever fresh, never becomes hackneyed and dull. Thank you.
Thank you, Acaryaratna Prabhu. You're going to hear from another realized soul. His name is Bhima Prabhu. You'll see. You'll see. As soon as he starts speaking, you'll see how realized he is.
I've realized that Ananda Bihari is full of it. That's the first thing. But I just wanted to say, yes, very sweet. There's some bittersweetness too when I hear devotees like yourself talk about the glories of the Holy Dham. When I was in the movement some 30 years ago, for 10 years, I was promised, if I did enough Sankirtan, that the winner of the various competitions would get to go with Radhanath Maharaj. This was in the 80s, early 80s. Get to go with Radhanath Maharaj to India, and despite anyways, Krishna arranged it that I never got to go with Radhanath Maharaj to India over 10 years period of time. Krishna kept me away from the Holy Dham. And I've always had a sort of a disheartened feeling over the fact that I've never been.
Did you win the marathon?
Yeah. I that's how I got the name Bhima. I smashed everybody. I smashed him. And then when Radhanath Maharaj went to Kirtanananda at that time, who said, said, you know, Bhima 1, I want to take him to India. He said, no, we can't have him go over there. My Sankirtan devotees get sick and they come back and they can't keep doing their service. So I don't want Bhima to go over there and get sick and come back and not be able to do his, you know, so-called very valuable service. But anyways, all my life, I've sort of been like, well, Krishna's keeping me at arm's length as far as his holy dham. And so long story short, I now live in the countryside here. I'm 2 hours away, either from Boston or New York City to any temple. But once every Sunday or so, I drive down to New York to be with the devotees like Adi Purush and Ananda Bihari, and of course, all the other devotees, Domi Chen, just wonderful, hard-working, fully engaged devotees. And I'm down there for 8 hours or something. And then I have to drive back up. It's an 8-hour drive all in all, you know, there and back. And I do it in the middle. Now, my body becomes completely wiped out. I'm 62 years old. It takes me a whole day to recoup, but I'll tell you something. It's just the feeling. I can't explain it, but I'm totally recharged in the association of, here I have horses and grass and trees and woods. But when I go down there, I become completely recharged by being directly in physical association with the devotees, seeing the smiles, hearing their voices, seeing how enthusiastic they are, seeing how dedicated they are. I'm reassured in my own dedication. And, you know, Prabhupada, I notice that when I read, I keep coming upon statements that without the association of devotees, you're finished. You're finished without, no matter how much you read or how much you can figure out, how many austerities you perform, even how much you chant. If you do not have the devotees, you're finished. And of course, the pride in anybody would be, well, I can go it alone. But I'll tell you, you know, when you're alone, Maya creeps in somehow. She makes you feel lonely, and then of course you go searching for things to not make you lonely. But when you're amongst the devotees, you never feel lonely. You always feel at home. And I'll end it here. The one thing that kept me coming back 1980 when I first met Radhanath Maharaj at the temple, and I did not want to become a devotee. I knew about the 4 regulative principles. I knew about the discipline. The shaved heads and the skinny bodies scared me to no end, because that's what I thought that a devotee was. And I was in the middle of college. I was having a good old time. I was like, I didn't want to become a devotee, but I loved Radhanath Maharaj. Just loved talking to him. Long story short, the thing is that what I couldn't get over was that every time I went to the little bungalow, the little cottage that was his first preaching center, I felt at home. As soon as I opened the door, I felt like I was at home, like the home that you feel like when you're a little kid and you come home after being out all day or something like that. And that's what I felt again, which I hadn't felt since I had been a child, that I was at home. And when, you know, after a time, just, I've always, and I still feel that now when I come to New York, and despite all the troublesome nature, the passion, the running around the buildings, etc., you know, the mode of passion, I still feel like I'm at home, even in a fifth floor walk up, you know, former flop house. I still feel I'm at home because there's devotees there, and something happens in the heart, and you just feel overjoyed, and you just feel drawn back to that joy again and again, the joy of being in the association of devotees, which I think is the true pilgrimage. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for reminding me of all that.
Wonderful.
Thank
I'm
you.
also feeling at home here in Bhakti Center. Thank you for creating such a wonderful atmosphere, inspiring atmosphere here.
Yeah. Our zip code is Kirtan. Zip code is service. Okay. I thought Bhima Prabhu was coming to New York to just get a ticket, but he comes to serve the devotees. Isabel Ishwari Sundari Spirit Soul says, hope to meet you in person next time you're in New York. Okay, we're going to announce Bhima Prabhu's visit to New York publicly so the devotees could come and associate with him.
Yeah.
He's the patron saint of animals, of our Sangha. He's known for that. He has the real Samadarshan. He treats me like a horse. I'm on the same level. Okay, Acaryaratna Prabhu, any final instructions for us? Okay, darshan time.
Darshan time is there.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Cameras
you.
on if you can. Thank you, Acaryaratna. All glories to your service. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. Yeah.
Thank you, Krishna Prabhu. Thanks everyone for being part of this group, for attending steadily. We owe it to Prabhupada, like Acaryaratna Prabhu said. Let's give it back. Let's share it with others. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru, Let's apply what we've learned today fearlessly. Don't be shy. Spiritual Master is empowering us. He's tapping into the ocean of mercy. And we should tap into the Spiritual Master's mercy, holding on to his feet or hers. I should reach out to Narayani Devi Dasi. She hasn't given class in a long time. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, Adipusha Prabhu is glowing, beaming, waving. Hare Krishna, wearing a bib. Always new to bhakti. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Priya, Priyama, everybody. Horses. Jamuna Jaya, Himangi, Venetia. Wow, nice. That's what I like the most. The devotees' faces. Jamuna Jaya, when are you coming back?
I fly back tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Good. Good. Okay.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
What's that, Venetia? What did you say?
Oh, I just said safe travels to Jamuna
Safe
Dai.
Yeah, she'll be chanting sincerely on the flight. Yeah, she always does. Yeah, cool. Hemangi, how are you? How is the family?
By Krishna's mercy, everything is fine, Prabhu. Thank you.
You packaging prasadam for them nicely?
Yes, that's my morning service.
Yeah. Hemangi is making them feel that Krishna loves them. That's very important service. Hemangi, wonderful. Okay, all right. Bhima Prabhu, you're wonderful. Just wanted to acknowledge you. Okay, good. I don't want you to chastise me after the class that I didn't acknowledge you. Okay, I'm acknowledging and bowing down to all of you, dear devotees, Kartik, Danakeli Prabhu, Suzanne, Ishwari Sundari, Spirit Soul, Sharmila, Dana, Krishna's Radharani, Amita Kishori, Didi Yogeshwari, and Bruce Prabhu, and Anandi, of course, Anandi, and Prabhu.